back to another episode of Weird Truth. I think we're on episode 31 or 32. If I'm not correct, I'll pop up a little text edit. But yeah, we got Waltamus Prime back again, and Colt Slack from Slacksquatch Beard Co. back for round 2. How you guys doing?
Great.
Cool. So Colt, you've been kind of busy and also like quiet for a while. And what's been going on in the world of Slacksquatch?
Yeah, dude, I've been real quiet. So that's why I don't have my hat on. I don't got any. I just got this plain old hoodie on. I don't have any Slacksquatch attire, so I apologize. We're still kind of in transition, so it's been good. We moved from Iowa to Indiana,
Cool,
which is actually where I'm from originally, and so headquarters are now in Indiana, which is great.
Mm-hmm.
Looking forward to it and stuff. So right now we're just kind of living with our family,
Cool.
and so I'm kind of living out of bags because we're actually we're in the process of buying a home, and so
okay, cool.
we don't have possession of it yet, so we're still kind of living out of suitcases for a little bit, which has been real wild and real crazy. So still honestly trying to find stuff, the necessities in life, little things like a pair of socks, you know, that you don't really think much about, but not having a pair of socks changes your life, you know. So right now I have pajama bottoms on, so I'm not
nice.
that's why I'm sitting down. You get the top view. So, but no, man, it's been good, and I've been quiet a little bit, but I'm starting to get back to it. I cooked up some oils and some balms. I think last weekend maybe, and then did like a birthday. My birthday was January 26th, and so I did a little. I turned 31, getting old. So I did a little 31% discount, and that went really well. A lot of sales and stuff that day. So slowly starting to get like product back going and back up and running. And I wish I could do more, but just trying to not overwhelm myself to start. So
yeah, totally. Yeah, I can imagine just like you're already like dealing with figuring out like getting a house all set up, and then also trying to like get a whole setup going for like making like Slacksquatch products. Like a lot of things.
Yeah, I have a lot of things that I want to get into that I'm not going to talk about much because it's a secret.
Okay.
But
cool.
So, you know, it's I definitely want to get more things, but it's going to be a couple months before I really start like venturing out into some other like things. You know, so just taking it one day at a time.
Cool. Good stuff. What's been have there been any other companies that you've been kind of like checking out, like whether just like on social media or like testing out any other products recently?
Dude, I need to do a better job of that again, like with change of address and everything going on. I've just been trying to lay low. There are a couple companies that I'm planning to try out. So Chesapeake is one that I've heard great things about, and I really want to try out. There's a long list, but these are kind of my top. So they're one, and then Phantom, who's actually an Iowa company, who I wish I could have tried them out earlier when I was living in Iowa, because you know we kind of had that Iowa connection at least at the time. So they're one that I want to try out, and then I really want to try out Fable. That's another. So those are kind of like the three companies that I want to venture into and just kind of get out into the community a little bit more and just try out some products and stuff. But yeah, those are kind of the 4 runners, I guess, of what I want to try in 21 here in the early part.
Cool. Yeah. Fable's really solid for sure, and I've got some stuff coming from Phantom in the next little while to check out. It's been like I think it got lost, so I have to like message the owner and figure all that out, and then it should be here. Honestly, it'll probably be here by the time this episode airs.
Yeah, dude, mail has been stupid right now. So Oz ordered some stuff for me, some Slacksquatch stuff, and this was like, I don't even know when this was. This had to have been like mid-December, probably. I mean, maybe it feels a lot longer. So he's like, hey, where's this at? Where's the tracking? So I gave him all the tracking. It was taking forever. Well, finally it showed up. It showed up empty. The box had been busted into. There was nothing in there. The note wasn't in there. The product wasn't in there. There was literally nothing in there. And he's like, hey, like someone stole my stuff. And I was like, okay, man, well, like, I'm in the middle of moving, so like I will send you another thing on me, but it's just gonna take me some time. So like a week ago, I don't even think he still got it. I just sent stuff, like some more stuff that he had ordered all the way to him, and I'm just like, dude, mail right now has just been so finicky. It's been so frustrating. USPS it's no wonder that they're like in debt out of their
Yeah.
ears, just because it's just been. It wasn't just the Christmas holiday that slowed them down. It's still just like really, really, really bad. So it's been tough.
Yeah, no, 100%. Yeah, I ordered some stuff from Weatherbeard on January 6th, and it still hasn't arrived. I'm expecting it'll be this week, but it's just, and it's funny, like across the board, like doesn't matter the company, just everybody's just getting hit with like shipping delays.
Yep. It's not fun.
No.
Because in like a roundabout way, even though it's not on the companies, it like, in my opinion, and maybe like consumers don't think this way, but it makes the company look bad. Like when a product takes a long time to get there, it makes companies look bad, even though we have nothing to do with, like, there's nothing that we can really do. Even like UPS or FedEx or any of those companies, they're still running slow too. So just like, it's a bad look on companies, which is unfortunate because there's nothing we can do about it. So
we're at the mercy of their delivery,
Yeah. Once you ship it out, there's nothing you can do about it.
Yep.
Which, I can imagine that being frustrating for company owners right now. Like, I know, like I was checking out. Say what?
Said or it gets there and it just shows up empty, which is even more frustrating because
kidding. That's
still hard worked on product, that like took already a month to get there. That never. Yeah, that's even more frustrating. I'd rather it take a long time to get there than show up and be empty.
Yeah, of course. So. That's just crazy. Just friggin' Canadian, because Oz is in Canada as well. It's the friggin' Canadian beard product robbers.
Somebody was blessed with some free product, though. Yeah. So hopefully they'll like it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, you got a really great product, man. I was looking at the ingredients, and I mean, coconut oil, almond oil, jojoba oil, all solid oils, really good for the skin and the beard. And then I see that you go essential oils, which is cool. Have you thought about venturing into fragrance oils? Or do you think you're just going to stick with the essential?
Yeah, I have. No, I appreciate that. Well, I'm very simple, like there's a lot of people that put tea tree and they put, there's a billion different things that you can throw in there. So like, I'm fairly simple. And for me, I've tried out some other different like oils and some other product, but for me, like, and everyone's beard's a little bit different, like some people's beards soak up a particular oil a little bit faster, or like a certain, product a little bit faster. And so like, I have found out with like the oils and with the balms, like I use shea butter and cocoa butter. I don't go into too much other stuff. And then, yeah, you're right. I use the jojoba oil, the almond oil, and then in the oils, I use the coconut oil as well. I kind of add that. So for me, it gives a good shine. It gives a good look. It gives good health. But I like to be simple. I love essential oils for the fact that, to answer your question, yes, I do. I do want to get into more like fragrance oils, but I love just I don't know what you want to call it, but I'm going to call it the byproduct of essential oils. I like the way that it just like boost health, like boost moods. It does a lot of great things for your body. And so that's the reason that I love essential oils.
Right.
But I have nothing against fragrance oils. And I know that fragrance oils last longer and maybe give you a more powerful like scent for a longer term, I guess you should say, because the essential oil, if you've noticed, I'm trying to remember, Walt, you got the honey lemon? Or did you get
I got the honey lemon balm and oil.
You got the honey lemon. So like you'll get it for a couple good hours, but then like it'll start to fade away. Like and people tell me that. And I'm okay with that because I personally like I'm kind of weird where I probably stand out. Maybe I'm an outlier in the bearded community. One, I don't like things that give me a headache. I don't like fragrance oils for the fact that sometimes they are too strong. And so like it makes my brain hurt. Like it literally just gives me headaches sometimes. Yeah. And the other thing is with like the fragrance oils, I don't know. I just feel like they just literally sit on you. Like some things are so strong that I'll get a shower and I'll still smell it. Yep. Or my comb will have that embedded in just the bristles for literally like a week. And so that's just my personal take on it. But I do plan to get into fragrance, but I don't ever want to become like the company that's so strong that it's like knock you out, like hit you with a punch. So
if you want a cologne, wear a cologne. This is for your beard. I get what you're saying, and like totally. Essential oils are kind of clean, I guess you would say cleaner, or they just they're a little bit more pure.
Yep.
Because to be labeled as an essential oil, it has to kind of meet some criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I mean that's why I personally. So yes, I do want to get into more fragrance stuff, and but for right now, I really like the essential oil side of things, and I think for me personally, it just like I'll throw some essentials in my beard and stuff, and I don't know. It's probably just because it's beard product, and everyone like with the beard goes crazy for beard product. So maybe that's why. But I feel like instantly I'm just like, all right, I'm good to go. Like I feel better. I'm ready to rock and roll. So I like the essential.
Yep. Yeah, I've been experimenting with some beard oil making recently, and I went all essential oils for the 6 bottles that I made.
Yeah, man, I saw that. I want to. Are you thinking about like? Are you just doing it for fun? Are you trying to like maybe start selling or what? Because I saw that post and I don't think I could get to it because I was in the middle of the move here. But yeah, man, that sounds pretty cool. So what's your plan with that?
So it's for now, like as of right now, as we're recording this, it's just for fun and just kind of experimenting and figuring it out. But I wouldn't be opposed to selling my own products at some point in the future. It's just I have so much going on right now. Trying to add in like running a company on top of all that, like
yeah, man.
A lot of things. Like
you want to pass those classes, you know?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'm in my last semester. I can't really afford to fail now.
Yeah, it can wait like half a year.
Yep. Yeah, I want to get some more bottles and some more essential oils pretty soon here, just so I can try some more things. But yeah, it's a fun process. Like I just set up everything on my second table here and just had some music on, was just like experimenting with different scents and like talking to Waltamus about like the carrier oil blend that I should use and like all that kind of stuff. And just, it's a good time.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It's fun to experiment.
Yeah, totally.
Just tinkering around, doing research, just figuring out viscosity and hold and just, you know, how much to put in for the essential oils or the fragrance oils and everything. It's really cool.
Yep. Yeah. And I was gonna say, yeah, and I think like I lost my train of thought. Shoot it.
It's okay, dude. It's all right.
Yeah, it'll come back.
Are you going to do some more growth, you think, in 2021 once you get everything kind of situated with the move and everything?
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely like, you know, I want to add some more scents to the lineup for one. That's one thing to do. And then I want to put some more butters out there. That's probably I'm really a balm guy, and Jordan knows this. Is that the Holiday Hideout?
Yep.
Yeah, man, that stuff is.
I love this stuff. It's great.
It's good stuff. I'm really a balm guy, to be honest with you. Like,
fair.
I love beard balm, and that's another thing that makes me an outlier. Like, maybe it's because it's the first product that I ever tried, but for me, like, I just really enjoy balm because, again, I think it's the trifecta. I think you get all in one. You get the scent, you get the hold, you get the condition, you get the moisturizer, you get the nourishment. I mean, you get all of it, in my opinion, if it's done correctly.
Yeah, of course.
And so, but I do want to get into more of like the butters and the oils, because I know that there's more people out there that are not like me. There's a lot of people that love like oil and butter is probably the more used amongst the bearded community, I would say. Right? And would you guys agree with that?
100%. Absolutely. And I feel like most of the people that I've talked to on this podcast, they would like they've said that they would go oil and butter over oil and balm like more of the time, especially like guys with like longer beards. Like
yeah. And so I think beard balm, depending on who makes it and what you do with it, mine has changed a little bit in the 6 months, 7 months that I've kind of been doing it. I've changed my beeswax a little bit. Cool. Not only the ratio of it, but also just like the brand that I've been using.
Okay.
And I went to pellets too, so I think that works a little bit better. Because I was using like beeswax bars, and it was almost making it like a mustache wax.
Yep.
I think the pellet helps break it down a little bit, and it's a little bit easier to maneuver. So I don't want to like call mine a hybrid by any means, or like call it like a mix of, you know, a butter and a balm. But I think mine has definitely became a little bit more of like a light to medium hold than it was like a little bit more of like the medium to heavy hold.
Yeah. Okay.
When
okay.
I started,
Yeah. Because I remember,
started,
like when I first got this, like definitely noticing like the definitely more hold than like some other ones that I tried, like especially earlier on.
So it depends on who you talk to. So like some people loved it, right? Like some people are like, hey, I love this because it melts at a higher temperature, like it emulsifies at a higher temperature, which I really like because my job requires that, you know, I don't have something just dripping out of my beard because it's warm. So like a lot of people liked it for that reason, but some people are like, hey man, this is too much hold for what I'm looking for, which is no hit on me necessarily. It's just the way that I was making it and the way that I like it. So the thing that I think balm on the large part has been almost, how do I say this? It's gotten a bad name for itself because a lot of people, it's been like, not my balm in particular, I'm saying balms just across the spectrum of the bearded community. I feel like a lot of people think balms are like these really heavy, you know, like heavy, sticky, your beard is like a concrete block, you know? And so I think a lot of people are scared of balms for that reason. And so I hope that a lot of people, like, you know, if you've tried my balm, at least some of my stuff in the last like 3 months ish, it's a little bit more of that like light to medium, which I think, I think more people have been vibing with that. So
I like,
but I love balm.
I use it for like if I'm going to work and I'm going in the office, if I'm going on like a date or going out to dinner, or if I like Christmas Day, go and have dinner with the family and everything, and I want to look good for pictures. That's when I put my balms in because I want everything to stay in place.
Yep, same here. Know? Although today I have butter in, but yeah, but that's because I've left my house like 4 times this whole year so far.
On lockdown.
Stupid Canada.
Gosh, you hermit, you.
No, actually though, like it's, so that's part of the reason why like I've just been like letting my beard go because I'm basically living the hermit life right now.
Hey, and just order more product and just sit in your hermit shell. Just throw it in, you know?
Save some money.
Yeah. It's funny. I did the math recently, and I think I've tried around 30 companies at this, like beard products from 30 different companies at this point.
Wow.
And it's, you guys are good supporters, man. I think it's good to have a lot of companies under your belt just to support small business for one.
Yeah, 100%.
I mean, it's kind of a brotherhood, you know, like it's a brotherhood of just bearded. It's a special community. Like
absolutely.
All in all, it's a really special place. So
it's like I didn't just order Slacksquatch. I also ordered from my buddy Colt. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's different. You know, it adds value to what you're buying is when you know the company owner on a personal level.
And I think it's also helpful too, because like I hope all owners are like this. I know some probably don't accept it as well, but like I want my product to be good. You know, like I want my product. I want people to enjoy my product. So like you, Jordan, like for instance, you know, there's been other people that are like, hey, you know, like I like it, but it's not my favorite. Maybe you don't like the honey lemon blend, or it wasn't like strong enough for you or whatever it is. But like I don't mind hearing that stuff because, for one, you're not going to please everyone. Never in life are you going to please everyone. You could have the best product on the market, and like even just like in the food industry, like I love Texas Roadhouse. Some people hate Texas Roadhouse, right? Like it's just part of just being a human being. So like I'll accept criticism as long as it's constructive. Now if people are like, you suck, you're terrible, I'm never coming back to you. Well, like why? Like help me be, if that's how you're gonna be, then at least tell me why so I can become better, you know. So I think that's the good thing about knowing company owners. Not only from the business side of things, but from the personal side of things, because I want the feedback to make the better.
Yeah.
I think it's important to have realistic expectations too. If you're going to buy from someone who is focusing on natural materials, they're doing essential oils only, well, then don't expect some like amazing, super blended scent profile that's got all this different range and everything. Right. You just have to kind of know what you're getting. This is something that's good for conditioning and for styling, and it's not going to be like super complicated. There's nothing wrong with that. You can have 2 things. One can have 6 different essential oils, and one can have 2 essential oils. they can still both be great products, you know.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but you can't expect them to both to be exactly the same. It's just not. It's not realistic.
Right.
Yep.
And I'm a simple dude. Like I'm as simple as they come. Like you get something from Slacksquatch, it's gonna come in a brown bag, it's gonna come in a brown box, it's gonna have a shipping label on it and a thank you note. Like I'm not gonna have, at least for right now, like I don't ship stuff in like big old cigar boxes and
Fair.
have all this other stuff, which that's awesome. Like I think it's a really good look, and I think it's a great.
No, it's super cool for sure. But
presentation is definitely huge, right? But like, you know, I'm also in the field of like, I know there's a lot of people out there that are balling on a budget, you know, and so like I want to make it affordable. Like I want my oils and my balms and my butters and everything that I release, shirts, hats, whatever. Like I want them to be affordable. I don't want $40 t-shirts or I don't want $20, $18 things of balm, or like I want it to be affordable for people because for one, I'm not putting a ton of, like you said, I'm not putting a ton of different fragrance oils and 16 different, you know, oils or, you know, other sort of butters or stuff into my blend. So I want it to be cheap. I want it to be affordable, but I want it to be good quality and I want it to make people happy. So yeah, you're right. You have to investigate and do your research and just know what's coming and not expect, you know, a $50 balm at a $10 price tag. It's just not, not going to happen.
But it's a good balm. Your oil is great. I think I got both of them for like $20 and the feel in beard's good. It's got a great hold. You know, and if someone came up to me and saw that I was interested, I did beard stuff, and they've never tried a beard product, and they said, I want something kind of affordable, but very simple and not something that I'm going to be dropping a ton of money on, but it really works well. This would be a good spot for someone to be.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
Facts.
Appreciate that. That's what I'm in it for, man. That's definitely me.
No, 100%. That's, I mean, and Waltamus and I talked about that on a review that we recorded recently. Like, $30 for one oil is too much. And then like, plus like as like an international customer, like if I wanted to buy a $30 oil, and I'd be spending like probably around $20 for shipping. So that's $50 for one oil, which is like I could get an oil, balm, and a butter combo from like other companies for like less than that, or like around that price. Like there's a point where it becomes too much. Like you just keep like jacking the price up. It's just like
I get it. You know, you're selling this as a luxury item. You know, it's just like there's luxury colognes out there like Tom Ford, but then I'm not going to wear a luxury cologne every single day. I'm probably going to wear that very sparingly. However, a good smelling cologne that's more affordable, I'm going to be wearing that more regularly. You know?
Yeah, that's a good way to put it, for sure.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I think that's always been the cool thing with Slacksquatch. Like there's a lot of deals going on and like throughout the year and like reasonable prices, like especially for like people watching this like in the US, like definitely really a solid bang for your buck. International, shipping's a little more pricey, but that's not Colt's fault. That's just the way it is.
Right. Yeah, it's I mean, it's one of those things too, you know, like I try to do discounts where I can. Again, like I'm all about the consumer. Like I honestly, like straight up, I don't do this for money. I don't do this to like do it full time. I do this as like a part-time little gig, kind of a part-time hustle. And it brings me joy. Kind of like what was talking about earlier. Like it's fun to try different blends. It's fun to like, first of all, I make it for myself too. So like I make it because I enjoy it and I don't want to go spend a ton of money, you know, on a bunch of product. That's just not me. I'm not a reviewer. I don't have 7,000 different companies and put them on shelves. That's just not what I do, right?
Yeah,
but that doesn't mean I don't support other companies and like want what's best for them. But for me, it's like partially for me and my own personal like beard because I enjoy it. And then secondly, like I originally didn't even start this to be like, hey, I want to go sell beard balm. It was just kind of like, hey, I'm going to make it on the side and do it for myself. And then people started finding out like, hey, you need to put this stuff out there. And then here we are, 8 months later, and it's kind of where it is now. And it's crazy. This is not to brag, but and a lot of people would probably be like, oh, that's nothing. Like I'm closing on 500 sales, which is stupid to me. Like
that's awesome.
I literally, you would have told me that in July and I'd have been like, no, 500. Like I literally, if you follow along my social media, my goal was to sell my goal is to sell 100 tins of it by like December 31st. And I had already passed 400 and I was like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. And so, but I don't do it for the money. I don't do it, for, all that stuff. I want something good out there for people to enjoy that's cheap. And so any discount I can give, like it was my birthday and I gave a discount for my birthday, like it's things like that. I don't really give a crap about how much I make. I just want people to have something in their beard and enjoy.
Yeah, totally.
So.
Yeah, I had no idea. I wish I would have known. I would have gotten some of that pine juice.
Hey man, just let me know. I'll probably find a way to give you a discount if you want. Honestly,
man, nice
if people reach out to me that are return customers, like, hey man, I want to try it, I'll try to throw on make it as cheap as I can for you. So if that is something that you want, just let me know and we can kind of work it out.
Okay, I'll reach out.
But this doesn't go all these newbies out there, they're gonna watch this and be like, hey, I hear you give a bunch of discounts. It won't happen for you, but you come back again and buy and buy and buy, and we'll work some things
Loyal
out.
customers.
Yeah,
Loyal
that's right.
customers.
Yep.
You can't just be throwing discounts to everybody.
So are you thinking about expanding into something more like in the fruit side, something more on the wood side, maybe something with some oud? Have you got some things that you're partial towards?
Yeah, I mean, for me personally, I like a balance, and so that's kind of why I only have two things right now. Now, I have done other things in the past, like I did my holiday hideout butter, which was probably my most intricate, I guess, blend. Yeah, and Jordan has that, and so the holiday hideout, I can't even remember exactly. It was like tangerine, lemon. There was cinnamon. There was clove. There was nutmeg. There was just some different, there was like 7 or 8 different blends in that. So that one was my most, and it was all essential. So like it was no fragrance stuff. It was all essential. But it was probably my most intricate blend that I've worked on. And so that was something that was really awesome. And I do a lot of exclusive releases. So something that I do as well. So kind of a couple parted like answer to your question. Every season, I want to put something new and different out, and I don't plan to ever do the same thing. So in the fall, I put out a campfire blend, and it went ultra fast. And so something that I will release, and that's something that people have requested, because I'm still to this day, how can I get a campfire? How can I get an oil? How can I get a butter? How can I get a balm? Like people want campfire. And so I thought that a fall-time scent would be a full-time only deal, but people are wanting it. So I think what I'm going to do here soon, hopefully in the next month, I'm going to do like 3 trios. I'm going to be very, very small. And maybe I'll raffle them. Maybe I'll do some sort of just, live thing and people can, I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I just try to stay creative with things, but I want to do like an oil, a butter, and a balm campfire release. So that's something that is in the works.
I need that.
And then for me, like if you've noticed, I have a honey lemon, which is more of like you can call it fruity, I guess you could call it. But then I have my pine juice one, which is more of like what you would think of as Sasquatch, like out in the woods. So like the woodsy side of things. So I want to stay somewhat balanced with it. Like I don't want to be a company that just sells, fruity side of things. And I don't want to be a company that sells just like straight manly, woodsy, earthy scents. I want to have a balance.
For sure.
So to answer without saying it, without answering it, I do want to keep it diverse to an extent. And I want to be able to keep my main line items, if you will, in my lineup. So like I plan to keep honey lemon. I plan to keep the pine juice. And then I do plan to add a new one soon in the next month or two. I wanted to do it earlier, but the move was kind of unexpected. So I was going to do that like to kick off the new year, like a new scent. But obviously like, it's going to come, it'll be there. But then every season, like, so spring, summer, fall, winter, holiday hideout, campfire. So springtime, be expecting something hopefully springy that'll get people going.
Cool.
So.
Yeah, that'd be awesome for sure. Yeah, it's always cool to see, like, especially like this year so far, seeing all like so many like small batch owners like coming out swinging like new products, like new blends, like all that kind of stuff. It's new labels. It's cool to see everybody like leveling up like in 2021. Yeah,
it's good because it's like it's healthy competition. If you want to call it competition, some people call it competition, some people don't. I call it competition. Even though I'm not necessarily competing to beat someone necessarily, but seeing other companies try like different, blends or different product, or, just doing things that are kind of like, oh, dang, like that's pretty cool. And then you can kind of be like, I'll do something similar to that. So it's all like it's all to help the bearded community, just try to find something different and make it, something that people get excited about. So.
Yeah. And I feel like with the bearded community, too, it's like, like you were saying, it is competition, but it's also not. Cause like, there's so many people, well, like myself, like 30 different companies, like, so there's like tons of people that would like, they're going to try this, they're going to try this, like they're going to go to this company, and then like they'll have things that they like and that they'll buy repeatedly, but then they'll be trying new stuff out. Like, I don't want to make, like like every time I make a beard product order, I'm trying to do like a new company every time, just expand. And also like with me being a reviewer, it just helps with like more diversity of content and that kind of thing. But yeah, it's definitely fun to bounce around and try out all the different things.
No doubt.
And it's important to have a niche. I mean, like there's a lot of different people. Fable's got like that, well, like the venture fantasy type niche. And then Beard Coast has like that California way type niche. And then you got Slacksquatch. You have your own niche. No one else has that. You could really open up with that, with the Slacksquatch. Slacksquatch. You could really take that in any direction you want,
Right.
I mean, so it's really cool. You picked a good one, that's for sure.
Yeah, no, I appreciate it, man. There's a bunch of different things, like, getting into the beard, like specifically for like men with beards, right? But there's been a lot of like women asking about like product for women, and I don't have any product for women. So like that's something I've thought about expanding into, of not just being like a manly company, of just doing something a little different, that maybe get into like body butters or get into just different things like that. That could be more of like the Slacksquatch for women side of things. Not to get off into the whole like sexism thing, but I just feel like a lot of companies, like I don't want to get too, like I want to be specific, but I don't want to be too specific, and maybe that's something that, I do these seasonal releases. Maybe that's something in the summertime, like releasing something for women. It's just a small batch of like, hey, let's see how it goes. And if it goes like wildfire, my biggest thing is I want to trial things. Like there's no worse mistake for me than trying to do something and like putting all your eggs into it and then it fails and you're like, okay, well, that was a waste of money. That was a waste of time. So a lot of what I do is I'll just put little things out there. For instance, like the campfire, like campfire has a legitimate chance to be a full-time, something I carry full-time because the amount of people that want it. But I also think that I definitely need that. It's also important too, I think, that it keeps people interested in you, right? So like, oh man, I missed that. Like, I'm going to stay tuned for the next time you release that. So there will be things that will come and go, but there may be things that may like stick in the lineup too. So I just like to keep it interesting, like to keep it, new and fresh. And I'm not opposed to trying different gender stuff out and different products out. So who knows where Slacksquatch will end up in the next 5 years? Never know.
I mean, you could do like cookies and vanilla, body butter for women during the Christmas time, and say, hey guys, pick this up for your ladies on Christmas time and they'll love it, and then boom, you got 20 of them going out the door and within 24 hours,
Yep. Let me write that one down. That's a good one, Walt.
No problem.
That would actually be a really good scent.
Yeah.
Like, I'll give you some royalties.
Okay. Yeah, sounds good, buddy.
Or some consulting fees. How about that?
Yeah. You take it, you put it back into the company.
Yeah, that's right.
And like Waltamus and I have talked about that before, just with like more companies expanding into like kind of different areas. Like there's a way to do it and there's a way not to do it. Like you have to do it in a way that you can still like excel at your main niche and like your main customer base, like beard products, and not just like have the quality of the beard products suffer because you're trying to focus on like stuff for women and like body wash and like, because you can only do so many things well before it just like gets too much.
Right. Yeah, and I'm a one-man wrecking crew, you know what I mean? So like for me, it's I don't want to get, and that's why my lineup is not huge already. Like some people have, they have like partners in crime. So, you got like husband-wife duos, or you got people that own they have a large enough consumer base where they have employees. And so maybe eventually I'll get there. And that's the thing is I don't want to become too big to where like the demand for something that is outside. Like I always want to do beard products. That's something I never want to stray away from just because that's what I have, you know, like I'm a beard dude, so like I want to have beard products. So for me, it's one of those things. That's why I haven't done a lot of like, you know, butters, balms, and oils or have them in stock all the time, is simply because if I were cooking up butters, balms, and oils at the rate that people want them, I would literally, I'm already losing my hair, right? So like, there's no way I could stay up. So that's why normally the way that I do things is I cook them up, I put them out there, and then they sell out. So like, I don't want stuff sitting on my shelf getting old and be like 3 months old and I ship it out and it's crusty and gross and like doesn't really, you know, do it. So for me, it's get it made, promote it, pump it out there, sell it, let it go, do it again, keep it rolling that way. So there's only so much I'm going to be able to do, and which is why I only have a couple cents currently, just because I don't have enough time to be cooking up that amount of stuff constantly.
You can tell when something's been sitting on a shelf for a while. And Jordan came across one. We're not going to say any names, but Jordan came across one where he got it, and he's like, I'm reading this profile and I don't smell a damn thing, you know? And it's like
not a thing, like,
you know.
I think
I'm like,
it was a UK company, and I don't know if the lid got screwed up or the mix wasn't quite right, but it literally like I put it in the first night that I got it, and I was like this close to like after already having had a shower that night, jumping in the shower again to get the smell out of my beard. But then I eventually fell asleep and had a shower like in the morning because I was like, this is not what it says it's supposed to be.
Yeah, that's you're right. I mean, you can definitely tell stuff that's like been made fresh, and you can tell stuff that's been like, hey, I just want to get this moved out off my shelf, and
and that was my first experience with that, and it's like, oh, this is not. I was and it took a while to get here too, like just with the whole international shipping thing. Like I think. Because I wanted in like a giveaway or something, so I didn't have to pay for it, thankfully. But yeah, I was upset. I messaged the owner, and he was so upset. He was so like shocked by it, and I was like, "This is what happened." Like, And so it's been sitting in the drawer with like the rest of my like less used beard products, and it's like I was gonna do a review on it because I have like 2 oils and a butter, but I don't think I'm going to because I can't put myself through putting that oil in my beard again.
Yikes. That's not what you're looking for.
It's important to be honest with the owners too when something's just not great. I mean, to say, oh yeah, it's perfect, I love it, and then just for it to be really bad, then the next person that buys from that company is going to go through the same experience you went through. You know, and so it's important to be honest. You know?
And especially as a reviewer, that like you're actively like creating content to like help people like know what beard products to buy or like any products in general. Like you have to say what you want to say and just like be 100% honest and not worried about like what the owner's gonna think, because like ultimately the audience is the most important part of like being a reviewer in any category.
Yeah, I mean, word of mouth is important for everyone, you know, especially for companies. If you get a bad word out there, it's a wrap. You're done. You're toast. So I mean, because this community is big, but it's small. You know, like people for the most part, even if you don't know people like personally or do Zoom calls with them or like interact with them on social media, you still kind of know the common names that are in the community. You know, to an extent. I mean, you're all. But yeah, so if one bad thing gets out there and so asks a question like, hey, have you ever tried this product? What do you think? If you don't have a good product, you're not going to get a sale, period. So that's definitely important.
Yeah. And you gotta like, you have to, because otherwise if you say that like this product is great and there's nothing I don't like about it, and then somebody else does a review on it and they say like they hated it, like customers, like other like people watching your content, there's going to be like, what's going on here? Like, why the discrepancy? Like, obviously, there's going to be certain things, like maybe something that, like, maybe there's going to be somebody that loves the smell of honey lemon. Like, it's not my favorite, and I'm going to do a review on these at some point soon. I've just been I have so many videos to do, but like the scent's not my favorite, but the feel and beard and the ingredients, like that's all solid. And I feel like that's more important than like necessarily like the scent. Because if it doesn't feel good, that's a serious problem. But if it's just you don't like the scent, then that's a much more like that's something that I feel like as a consumer, like that's you can let that pass and still consider checking out the product.
Yep, I don't
Yeah.
like clove, man. I do not like clove. So if I got something that had clove in, I might say the feel and beard's great. But clove is just really not for me. So if you like clove or if you like such and such, then this would be right up your alley.
Right.
So it's being honest about it.
Yeah, I'm a pretty thick-skinned son of a gun. Like it takes a lot for people to like. I don't get offended. I mean, I just really don't. So for me, and a lot of people haven't bought, especially when I was just before I released pine juice, I just carried honey lemon, and so a lot of people are like, yeah, it's too girly for me. Like I'm just not a lemon guy. Okay, fine, man. Like I no problem at all. Like you're not gonna hurt me. So
I didn't find it girly.
Yeah, stay tuned. I don't know. I mean, just because it's the lemons, like honey lemon, I think typically like, people are just like, oh, that's more like feminine. Like I want something more. Like people have said that. Like I want something more masculine. I want something more like.
So you're looking for like teak wood or something like that.
Right. Not that it's like, not that it's a girly scent necessarily, but they want something a little bit more masculine, I guess.
Yeah.
So. And I don't take offense to that at all. Like, hey man, if you like, don't buy it then. I wouldn't want to buy something that I didn't want, So like, I don't take offense to people. Like, if you don't want it, if it's not your vibe, fine. That's cool. Stay on the lookout for future things because I may do that. But
Yep.
So I've used about, I don't know if you can tell, but I've used about half the bottle, and so I've gotten a good amount of use out of it. And I find that yes, there's lemon in it, but I think that honey is in there to kind of soothe it out. A little bit, take away from some of the bite from the lemon. So yes, it's a lemon forward scent, but you also have the honey in there as in order not to be able to have the honey be its own scent profile, but it's to soften the lemon. And if someone does not like lemon, then it's not their bag. But I happen to like citrus, so it works for me.
Yeah, totally.
I love it. Yeah, I think citrus is fresh. I think it's good. Like I think it's clean, right? Like it smells just clean and fresh. And so you're right. The honey, it's kind of like, if you've noticed, it's almost like, well, some people have called it comparable to like lemon heads, which I can kind of see initially.
Yeah.
But
if
you put it in your beard for like 30 minutes and let it kind of like marinate a little bit and you just sniff your beard, it's like a really sweet lemon. It's not like the sour lemon that you would think of.
Yeah, totally.
Like, it's kind of like the sweet lemon. At least that's what my nose picks up. So hopefully other people are experiencing the same. So it's definitely not girly or anything, but I mean, I got no problems if people aren't for it or don't want that type of product in their beard. It's not gonna kill me.
Yeah. Yeah, no, totally. Scents are a funny thing, and especially like I can imagine as a company owner, just like trying to figure out what you're gonna do that like first of all you're into, but then also like finding things that like people are gonna also like. It's especially now.
It's also like things are different. So I did a few of the holiday hideouts. I did those the same blend in an oil, and you pick up an entirely different smell. So
interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like the oil was much. Now I only did like 3 or 4 of those, but the oil. So like in the butter, it was more of, I'm trying to remember. It's been so long. I've used mine up like over a month ago. So, I mean, it's from what I remember in the butter, it was more for me of like the cinnamon, clove, and probably like I didn't really get the citrusy side of things, like the tangerine or the lemon. Or that stuff. It was, to me, it was more of the cinnamon and clove, and nutmeg is what I got. But in the oil, it was way more of the citrus that you got. So it's just it's very unique. It's very unique how when things warm up, or like in the oil or the butter, just having those other ingredients, like having the butters in the butter. So like having that shea butter and cocoa butter, it just gave it a little different smell than the oil did without it. So it's just something you may not enjoy the most in like a balm or a butter, and get the oil and be like, oh my gosh, this just hit me in a whole different way. So I think that stuff is
Yeah.
I had a few where I didn't like it in the bottle, but then when I put it in beer, it smelled awesome.
Yeah,
So
totally.
it's just like,
Yep.
you know, it's weird. You know.
Yeah. No, I definitely had that too. Where I'm just like initially you unbox it and test out the bottle. You're like, but then you get it in beer and it's like totally different and a lot better.
Yep.
Yeah, that like out of bottle or out of container like initial sniff test is sometimes a little bit deceptive.
Yeah, it's definitely good to get in beard too, for sure, because it will give it a different scent.
Yep. Yeah, 100%. It's definitely.
I compare it to like thinking about speakers, right? When you're listening to music, if you've got like if you got ear pods in, you know, then it's gonna be different than if you had speakers like surround sound speakers. Same thing is true for like an oil or a butter or a balm in a small little container, a 2-ounce container or a 1/2-ounce bottle or whatever, and it's all on top of each other. You get it out and you let it open up and air out, and you get hit with all the different sits coming from different angles, man. Like it just it brings it to life. It just makes it completely different. So it's definitely important to get it in beard. And before you give any sort of recommendation to anyone, put it in beard first, because that can change things.
100%.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah, and even with that oil that I was mentioning earlier that I had such a horrible experience with, like even out of bottle, I was like, I don't get anything. And then
nothing across the board.
Nothing. And it's funny. And I think the owner was actually in the live stream when I was unboxing it. And it was like,
oh boy.
So I didn't want to like, because initially like when I smelled it, I was like, this literally smells like I'm in a bathroom right now. I obviously didn't want to say that, but then I think I was talking to Waltamus about it. I was like, yeah, this literally smells like you just walked into a nasty bathroom. I'm like, I don't know of any beard oil that's supposed to smell like that.
Yeah.
7-Eleven bathroom. That's an interesting scent.
Yeah. Actually,
oh man.
Yeah. No, I was like, oh, and I think it's an expensive oil too, because it's some kind of like premium blend or something. But I'm so glad I didn't have to spend money on it. Otherwise, I would have been
maybe for the benefit of the doubt, maybe they just forgot the fragrances in there and just gave you the oil. Maybe you just got gypped.
I don't know.
Yeah, I've heard that happens before. That happens where they just a batch won't have they'll have just the carrier blend, but
yep.
I don't know. I've never come across it, so I don't know how often that happens, but
yeah, no. And out of all the oils I have, that's the only one. Although I do have the other oil that I have from that same company. There's more scent to it, but it's still a little like a bathroom. And I'm like,
well, UK beard oil, beard products in general are just different because it goes through so much more stuff, like how they get their stuff approved and everything like that. It's way more labor intensive. Like in the States, you can just kind of, okay, it's out the door, you know?
Yeah.
Like, I mean, from my understanding is like, you know, UK companies, they have to get stuff like tested and stuff.
Yep. They have to be CPSR certified before they can even sell. Because if it's like, if anything goes wrong, it's a big deal.
Right.
And I actually when I had Dan C. Bearded on the podcast back in December, he was like, yeah, like in terms of like the US market, they only come after you if something bad happens, like for the most part. Yeah, it's just funny how the different markets and like, because I think even I don't know about the US, but I know in the UK there's like certain like drop limits on like how much like fragrance oil you can use, just because like if you go too crazy with it, it can be bad for your skin.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they definitely give you certain like, you know, volumes that you're supposed to be able to, you know, use in certain amounts. So yeah, that can wreck you pretty good if you go overboard with it, for sure.
Yeah, totally.
And no one wants someone's face to start breaking out like crazy, or you develop some sort of rash, or like your skin just starts peeling just because you use too much. Like you don't want that.
No.
Bad news. So.
Yeah. No, even when I was making like my own oils just like recently, like I definitely was cautious on the I was using essential oil, so it's not as big a deal, but I was still cautious on it just because like, yeah, and I'll probably play around with the amounts like when I get the next because like the last time I only got 6 bottles, so I might get 12 next time, just so I have more bottles to play with.
I've never had like a skin reaction necessarily to companies.
Okay.
But I definitely have had, like, I don't know if you guys have had this, and maybe just my skin. I don't have super like sensitive skin, but there's definitely some that I've tried that like almost kind of burn your skin a little bit. Like,
Yep.
not that it's overwhelming, like, ouch, I'm in pain, but it's kind of just like like this is kind of warm. Like my skin just kind of is like, just didn't
Yep.
feel normal. You know what I mean? You guys ever got that?
Yeah.
So that's when you kind of know, like, man, I think they may have went a little overboard with some of the fragrances or essentials or whatever they put in there.
Yeah. Autumn Spice from Ardius Man. The first time I put it in, because it has cinnamon, and I was like, this is.
Yeah.
It's kind of making my skin uncomfortable. But then I tried Weird Beard's butter and oil and balm, and they also have cinnamon, but I didn't have any reaction to it. Like it was totally fine.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah.
And then I also noticed that I can't put on anything with spices right after I get out the shower. I have to wait for like my pores to close up.
Yep.
So I need to wait about 15 minutes and then I can put something in, because if I get out the shower, a hot shower, my pores are open and I put something with cinnamon in it, my whole entire face just goes red. It's like I look like sunburnt, you know?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point too. Yeah, getting in or out of the shower. Yeah, that can change things up too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
So I noticed your bottles. What size are these? Are these half ounces?
Those are half ounces. Yeah. So
Yeah.
I sell the half ounce bottles. Yeah. So I was going to mention that earlier whenever you had those. So the reason I do half ounces, and that's something else that people like, I've said that, but a lot of people don't catch it, especially like if you're not in the exact like live stream. I think I've posted maybe about it initially, but I don't like post about it every time if I like make a post about it. They're half ounce bottles. And so this is the reason that I like half ounce bottles. So, and Walt, you're a prime example. So you've had those for what, you've had them 5 weeks, maybe?
Yep.
Somewhere in that range. So people that have companies, right? If you're not like the single type of, I mean, if you're someone that has a long beard and you're like, there are a couple people that are like, hey, I'm Slacksquatch only. Like, you're my company, you're my guy. Like, I go through you. I don't buy it from anyone else, which is great. Like, I appreciate those people. But there's very few people that actually do that, right? Like, there's a lot of people like ourselves that maybe you get a bunch of different companies. And so for me, if I'm going to spend money on something, like I want to take it to where I'm going to be able to use it. So like for me, getting an ounce oil, like if I'm not going to go through it a lot, like use it every day, by the time I finish it, it's going to be useless. Right. Yeah. So like, that's the reason I like the half ounce bottles, is because you can get through it in a time that's like, you know, that 2 to 3 month period. If you're using it, you know, a couple times a week, at least, you're going to get through it. That's why I like the half ounce. Plus I can sell them for cheaper. And so that's why I like those half ouncers.
You know, and then I've seen another company do that, but now they didn't sell their half ounces for $7.50. They sell theirs for $15.
Yeah.
Half ounce oil for $15. I'm like, that is crazy. One of the benefits of doing a half ounce oil is like what you're doing. You're doing it for $7.50.
Yep.
Out the door, you're probably spending what, $12 to $15, $12 to $13 to get to your house, compared to let's see, $15 plus shipping. So you're looking over $20 to get a half ounce.
Yeah. Most people, I think shipping after the holidays drop down to about $3. It's in between like $2.76 and then sorry, Jordan, not for you, buddy.
right. US only.
You're up there in Canada. You're probably like $13 or something. But after the holidays got through, literally December 26th, when the holidays were kind of like the big rush, shipping went from like, it was like upper $3s to even $4. Now it's dropped back down to like $2.76 all the way to like, if it's going to like LA or like out to the West Coast, it may be like $3.85. So yeah, so you can buy one of my oils for literally about $10 if you're like in the Midwestern area. You can get it for about $10, like with shipping and everything, you know, all included. So again, it's I want to be affordable, and a lot of people are like, dude, you need to charge more. Like, no, like I don't want to. That's not how I roll.
Well, think about it like this: for a 1 ounce bottle, the average market price is $15 to $17. You're at a half ounce for $7.50. So you're in that close. Right. It's close, but I mean, you're more on the more affordable side for sure.
Right.
You know, but it works, man. I like it.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Yeah, that's kind of the same story with like the balms and the butters too. Like I sell my butters for 12 for the 2 ounces. Now a lot of people do the butters for, my butters may run on the more expensive side. I don't really know, because it seems like a lot of butters are like around the, there a lot of companies do the 4-ounce butters.
Yep.
Which I'm not gonna lie, take me forever to get through a 4-ounce butter.
That's
like,
a lot of butter.
Yeah,
oh
like,
my god!
Like
take me forever.
I've had this. Hold up. Oh, that's the wrong one. This is the one that I still and I have 2 of these, and I'll show you the one that I've actually been using on and off since like September.
Yeah.
It's not zooming in really, or not.
Yeah,
There. Oh yeah, I see it a little bit.
Yeah, it's
like honestly, like it takes forever. I don't understand.
Like I've hardly used any of it.
I don't understand why they do that. I'm much happier paying for half the cost and just get the 2-ounce butter.
Yeah.
And that works for me. Now, I had one company sell a 1-ounce butter, and I just felt like that was way too small.
Yeah. 1 ounce you get through real quick.
It was a good butter, and don't get me wrong, had great feel to it and everything, but I just felt like 1 ounce is just a little too little. It needs to be a little bit more than that. I feel like what you would, whether it's a half ounce to an ounce of oil to 2 ounces of butter is a good comparison.
Yep. Yeah, I like that too. I mean, that for me, like 2 ounces works perfectly. 2-ounce balm, 2-ounce butter, and then I like half ounce of oils just because. Not too many people do that though. Like not too many people do the half ounce oils. It's 1 ounce is definitely the common theme. I mean, there's even some 2-ounce oils out there.
Yeah, I just reviewed a company that has
a year to go through.
Oh, yeah, I've got one. I won't grab it right now just for sake of time, but I've had it since maybe December, late November, and it's still also because I have so many. I'm always like in the middle of testing like multiple different companies.
So yeah, because the thing is, like, you have a window on it. You know, like you have a window on it being like useful for your beard or useful like for a scent. So if you have an oil if you have an oil, if you're a company that makes in large batches and you don't sell super quickly, for one, it might be sitting on your shelves a month to 2 months.
Yep.
Right. So you're already losing your window, and then it takes a week to 2 to ship it. And then if you're a company that sells a 1 ounce oil and it takes someone another 3 months to get through, you're at a half a year. You pretty much like your window is pretty much done. Like you're pretty much toasted.
Yeah. They say like, oh, well, this has a shelf life of 2 years. This has a shelf life of 3 years. The oil itself might have that shelf life, but you're not factoring outside elements. Is it in the bathroom? Is it in the sunlight? Is it in your room that gets hot? And if it's not screwed on properly, it can oxidize, and that will cause it to lose its scent and cause it to go bad. So there's so many things that factor in. So you want to try and go through your stuff at least within, preferably with 6 months, but pushing it to like a year is starting to get kind of suspect.
Yeah.
Most things, honestly, like I mean, 3 to 6 months is about when you want to try to. I mean, maybe you can push it a year to 2, but like really, you're not going to get much benefit out of it, and you're definitely not going to have any scent to it.
No.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's a funny thing for sure, and like even like when I had stuff like from the beard struggle, like I only had the stuff for a few months, and already the scent was like pretty much gone. So I dumped it all recently just because I was like,
you finally did. You were wondering what you were gonna do with it. I was curious if you ever what you made that decision of.
Yeah, no, it was just finally time. I was just like, it's taking up space on my shelf. I have to keep looking at the stupid stuff, like seeing that logo sitting there looking at me. Like it's just
you had a plethora of product.
Yeah,
that's a good word.
Yeah, no, it still kind of causes me pain every once in a while when I think about it.
Yeah.
But my review that I did on them has almost 700 views at this point.
Dang, that's crazy.
And like,
well, hopefully you're able to steer some people clear of that stuff. That issue.
Yeah. Oh no, I already in the last little while, like there's been people that have like watched my review and then been like, yeah, this is messed up. I'm done.
You want a company that's positive and you enjoy talking to the owner customer and you enjoy the people who have support that company. You know, you don't want be surrounded by negativity. So
Actually, I'm doing a podcast episode tomorrow with one of the they have like these things called like the different like region specific groups. They're called like ETs. It's like a Norse term or something for like a group. I'm talking to one of their ex generals of one of the UK ETs tomorrow, and like I'm excited.
Yeah. Interesting.
Yeah,
is that going to be live or is that going to be recorded?
No, it's going to be recorded, same as always.
Okay.
Yeah, no, my computer would explode if I tried to live stream right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely want to get into live streams once I get a new computer. But then and I mean, even today I got an audio file from one of TBS's meetings where like one of the top guys refers to me as Voldemort. Because the CEO mentioned me by name, and then he's like, "Wait, I probably shouldn't mention him by name." And then like one of his lackeys was like, "Yeah, he's like Voldemort." I listened to that like multiple times today. It just killed me. I was like, so funny.
Compares you to Harry. Compares himself to Harry Potter. That's an interesting analogy. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, no doubt.
Yeah, just living in their heads rent free. It's great.
Rent free.
Yeah, dude. At least you had a celebrity name, though. You know, at least you made it that high up. You know.
Yeah. No, honestly, it's like I just make memes and post cool photos and review beard products, but
yeah.
Yeah, fun times. Definitely, the beard community is definitely an interesting place, full of lots of different characters.
It's good people.
I'm looking forward to seeing you more often, Colt. It's cool when you're out in the community and you're doing stuff and posting things. It's always good to see you out there doing stuff.
Yeah, man. No, it's really nice to meet you, and thanks for taking a chance, both you guys. Thanks for taking a chance on Slacksquatch. I know,
of course.
I've not been around real long. You know, it's just been finally surpassed 6 months here. I think I've hit 7, about ready to roll into 8 here. So it's not been too long. So I'm looking forward to getting through the first full year and just kind of getting a year under your belt, figuring out everything. And then, you know, from there, it's, you know, hopefully in the next 3, you know, you always set goals, you know, hopefully the next couple of years are going to be pretty special. So glad to guys have you guys as brothers in the community, man. And
absolutely.
Thanks for taking a chance, and hopefully I'll see you back again sometime.
Oh yeah.
For sure.
No, I definitely plan to come back. I definitely want to try that campfire.
Whenever you want some pine juice, let me know, man. I'll give you a little special deal on the low.
He'll hook you up.
Sounds good, buddy. I'll DM you.
Yeah. Sounds good, man.
All right.
Sweet. Yeah, thanks everybody for watching. I'll have links down below to Slacksquatch and also to Waltamus in the description. Check them out. Show them some love. Get yourself some Slacksquatch beard balm, some beard oil, and stay tuned for everything that Colt's got coming out this year.
Yep. Thanks for having me on, Walt. It's nice talking to you, Jordan. Always a pleasure.
Always.
Get in touch soon.